Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. I'm here with Kimberly to talk about 90 Day, The Other Way, Season 6, Episode 3, Can Buy Me Love? Question mark.
That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Is it Patrick Dempsey?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And some girl, I feel like her name is Amanda something.
Sure.
There's like a sexy scene in a bathroom that was way too advanced for me at that age. And it made me very feel if I felt funny watching it.
Oh, you were feeling things. You didn't know what it was.
I didn't know I've said tingles.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that.
I know. Sorry. And now when I see a lawnmower, I'm like, oh, Patrick Dempsey on that lawnmower.
Oh, Patrick
Dempsey. Very sexy on the lawnmower.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, I saw that movie, but I cannot remember a thing about it. Was he a nerd and then they spruced him up or something?
Yep. Yeah. And I watched it 50 times. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You wanted to relive that feeling.
Yeah. There were like at least 15 movies that I would just watch just on repeat.
Yeah, I have some movies like that when I don't do that anymore because I've got so much to watch. Like I've got to catch up with The Bear. Like we've got to catch up with The Bear tonight.
Yeah, I never even started The Bear. I'm too busy watching King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers reruns.
Reruns, I know, but movies I used to watch on a loop all the time because I had like the DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Was Say Anything. Great movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's Having a Baby. Another really good one. These are movies that from start to finish, I could just say all the dialogue.
Yes, 100%.
Which
that was
also
me with like Breakfast Club, Clue.
Yeah. Not fun for other people.
No.
Yeah, I recently rewatched Breakfast Club because I felt like I never really liked Breakfast Club as much as I liked 16 Candles. So I was like, I probably am wrong. But no, I'm right. I still don't like the Breakfast Club.
That's fine. I prefer 16 Candles as well.
And also the other one that I really liked, 16 Candles, not the Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
That was like third tier for me, but I did love Andrew McCarthy in that. We got to get you watching Home Alone more. There was at least one person that was outraged that you had only seen Home Alone once.
I mean,
can you watch it as a family next Christmas?
Yes, we can.
I would love that, and then report back.
Okay, just the original Home Alone.
Yes,
Catherine O'Hara, Macaulay Culkin, where he does the slap on the face because he slaps on the lotion on his face or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. And then the burglars come in because they fly away and they leave him at home, but I can't remember why.
They have just so many children in the house that they count and they miscount. They count twice, one kid twice. And so.
Was it Kieran Culkin? Did he slide in?
It's always Kieran causing problems.
My friend Mary is just about to start Succession, and I was kind of jealous that she was going to get to start Succession.
You know, like I watched Succession. I still haven't finished the last season. I kind of skipped the last 2 episodes, the penultimate episodes, and now I'm watching the finale because I find that I know the characters and understand that there is drama, but I don't understand any of the business things that are happening.
Right.
So if you asked me any of the business things, like the first season, I kind of understand because what's his name's kind of trying to take over from the dad and get the dad to retire. That I understood. Then it got way more complicated. They brought in that Swedish guy, and then it was like there's several companies going on, and I just know that there's drama, and I am following more of the personal relationships.
Okay, well then you'll really like the finale.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of personal stuff going on there. Yeah, I just love to look at that redheaded girl.
She's
Siobhan.
I'm fat. I love her.
Love her. Her name in real life is Sarah something. It'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah.
Sarah, it's like smart or sugar.
And she's like Australian, right?
Snook, maybe.
Snook.
When we were in London.
Yeah, Snook.
When we were in London over Christmas, she was her headlining a play, and it was right around the corner from our hotel. And we'd walk over there, and be like, "Oh!" Every time I'd be like, "There's Sarah Snook's name. She was in a play."
I love that.
Yeah, I was like, "Look at her, Broadway of London actress."
I love that,
stage and screen.
Yeah, she's just you're drawn to watch her.
Yes, you're right. I don't think it's the hair, but the hair doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's something else. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. That's been Succession Corner.
This has been Well, we used to do this thing live on our podcast called Don't Watch Alone, Watch Like Nobody's Watching. And we did it like 3 times, which is where Katie and I would just talk about what TV shows we were watching.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we
I
kind
like
of
that.
fell off during my move. And then we need to get back to it. But now we're doing Claim to Fame live on Thursday nights. You're welcome to join us if you ever watch the show. It's so fun.
Okay, so when I was just telling you before this that I just had Mariah Smith of Smith Sisters Live on, she said what she's really looking forward to coming up was Claim to Fame, and I was like, remind me what that show is, and then she explained it to me, and was like, I cannot believe you don't know about this show. So I have
It's
questions for
perfect for
you.
you. You love celebrities.
I do love celebrities,
This
but
is right up your alley.
okay, but here's my question: Claim to Fame. Okay, do we know? Do we know who they're related to?
No, in the first season, they gave away a few people,
Okay,
kind of like on Traders, where you know who the traders are. But
right.
then in the second season, we did not know who anybody was. So we are guessing along with the people. We are trying to come up with theories. This season, we have not been told who anybody is. So
Okay.
only in the first season did they give away like maybe 3 people.
But what's to stop me from trying to Google it and figure it out? The
Um,
joy of the show, like you just wouldn't?
Moral character, being a
Mm,
decent human being
being a team
and
player,
not a
not trying to
cheater.
ruin it? Okay. I didn't know if that was part of it, like you Googled it also, but no, you just
No.
watch the show and you don't try to figure it out and you don't try to look for spoilers.
Well, there are people online who are trying to figure it out, but they're trying to figure it out in a game playing way, like with the clues that the show has given us, not with
Okay.
like Googling family photos of celebrities and things like that. So
Okay.
we play Katie's the only one I'm worried about because she can be a bit of a not a cheater per se, but she gets so into it that it might just drive her insane. She gets so curious about things. So I'm
Okay.
a little worried she might cheat. We have Kim from People Are Wild. She will not cheat, but she's very good at the game. And Melissa, who won't cheat. I trust her. But Katie has so far thinks she's found out a couple people.
Okay.
She
How many
thinks
episodes have we had?
just one. And
Oh, I was like, wait.
she already thinks she's figured out some of the clues.
Okay, well, tell me how your live goes because I would like to participate now. I want to go find it. I want to watch the one episode and then I want to join in.
Absolutely.
Okay, tell me how I do it. Tell me where is this show airing? What
Hulu.
channel?
It's on ABC and then airs on
Hulu.
Hulu. And it
Okay.
airs on Wednesday nights. So we are
Okay.
doing our lives on Patreon and Supercast only
Okay.
on Thursday nights.
Okay. Can I play?
Yes.
I'll watch both episodes.
Yes.
Okay. So
I
it's
just
not
invited you asked without asking the others, and that's fine.
and do you do it like on the screen the whole time or is it like a moment like I would come in and out or we're there the whole time discussing?
We were just there the whole time. We did it on StreamYard, and it was the 4 of us. It went pretty well. I mean, we're talking over each other quite a bit
Is it
during
hard to
each.
add a fifth? Is that going to mess up
No,
the symmetry of your screen? Okay.
no.
I'm going to watch Claim to Fame today. So we're recording this on Monday because this episode comes out Tuesday. I'll watch it and then I'll watch the second one that comes out on Wednesday. Now, when you guys watch it when you guys do your live on Thursday, you've already all watched it.
Yes.
It's just discussion. Okay, got it.
Yes,
All right, I'm
and we're
ready.
trying to do it right after, or at least the day after, because the more time that goes by, then there's like might be spoilers if you're on social media. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
not a big social media game. It should be. People should be more
Yeah.
into it.
Well,
There was
I heard John Hill talking about it too.
it's last season, there was a kickoff where someone was kicked off. Every week someone has to leave. And
Okay, okay.
they had a temper tantrum like I've never seen and a hot mic Robert Durst moment screaming. And they're related to very respected celebrities.
Well, who? Tell me, because it's last season. I'm not going to watch it.
Okay, it was Rita Wilson's niece, but they kept saying she was Tom Hanks' niece because
Okay.
he's a bigger celebrity, I guess.
Right, okay.
Poor Rita. But she threw a fit when she got kicked out. Like she should, because she got kicked out very early. She's like,
Yeah.
I should have been on for more. This is ridiculous. And she's kicking her suitcase, and she's like, this is all so and so's fault. He's an idiot, and like screaming. And then like articles came out that maybe we just assumed that Tom Hanks hates her and like she's always asking for jobs and money and stuff. Like this
Right.
is what we just presumed. And also when the celebrity is revealed, there's usually a video from the celebrity congratulating them for
Ooh.
making it so far, or we're so
Okay.
proud of you, the whole family loves you, one of those kind of cameos.
If they
And
win.
that no, after even when they get kicked off,
Oh, okay,
it's like
okay.
that's how they do the reveal of who the
Okay,
person
gotcha.
is related to.
Gotcha.
And she didn't get one from Tom or Rita, and we were like, they didn't even want to do that. And Kim goes, they even did a cameo to show everyone they were still alive when they got COVID, when they were like the first
Yeah,
celebrities to
they
get
sure
COVID.
did.
They
Yeah.
even did a video for that, but they couldn't do one for her in the house. It was
Wow.
so funny. And she must
Wow.
have been she did, unless she was doing it on purpose to like cause a big moment, but it made her sound like the biggest bitch in the world.
Oh, man. Okay, this is a show. All right. So I'm glad I'm only one behind. So I can catch up
Yeah.
tonight before I catch up on The Bear.
Yeah.
And I can take my notes and see what I can come up with in my brain of who they might be.
And last season, there's
Uh-huh.
someone who's related to a president. And we were flipping out because we got a message from one of our Patreons who said, I'm his mom and I'm related to a president.
Really? Who was it?
Amy Carter is one of our Patreons.
That's correct. That's correct. I
And
forgot that Amy
she
Carter
sent
loves you
us
guys.
messages, and she sent us special photos and, like,
Yeah.
of her with the son, and, like, and then when her
It
mom
was Amy
passed
Carter's
away,
son?
we were chatting and, like, you did so great when she gave the eulogy for her mom, and, like, it was so, like, honestly, I was just, like, fangirling
Yeah, you
tremendously.
should. You should
Yeah,
be. So it was Amy Carter's son was on last season.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Jimmy Carter's grandson. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they get big
Okay.
celebrities, but
Yeah.
they also get celebrities who are very niche, like in, sporting worlds, in, like, race car driving worlds, country music. There's always, like, a country music person. So if you don't know country music, you need to band up with another person in the house and try to figure it out.
Okay, I see. And race car, I mean, who would know that unless it was like Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jr.
Right, or,
Yeah.
like, sometimes they have older celebrities, like a classic, like a Rat Pack, and the younger kids in the house have no clue.
They wouldn't know
So
who Sammy Davis Jr.'s great-great-grandson was or something like
exactly,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I am in. Yeah, I mean, Mariah Smith was saying it is like her favorite show ever. She was so excited it was
It's
coming
so
back.
right up your alley.
And I
Yeah,
was like,
except you
remind
can't
me.
cheat.
I won't cheat.
Okay.
Now that I know that cheating's not a part of it, I won't cheat.
Okay.
If cheating was a part of it, I'd be all in. Oh my gosh. All right, we got to get started with this recap. This episode was heavy on the Kimberly. We were just discussing this. We do each have three couples that we're going to be being the lead on. Sorry, guys, I'm shuffling around my desk like a real old person. So there are 6 couples total, but we've only gotten 5. So we are having another couple come in, but we did meet, we got more of Inky this week. And I'm going
Mhm.
to say, I'm sorry, I besmirched Ben Mandelker and said that Inky looked like Ben because he doesn't, because Ben is cuter. We do have another couple coming in, Joanne from New York and Sean from Ireland, which is going to, again, give me an opportunity to make a terrible Irish
Mhm.
accent and make all the Irish people
Get
hate
your
me.
emails ready, put them in the drafts folder, and then send them next week.
Nobody wants to hear. Just because your people are from Ireland doesn't mean we want to hear you pretend you're from Ireland. I've told you my best Ireland story is my friend Tracy, who is from Ireland. She grew up in Queens, but she's from Ireland, and her parents are just pure Irish. And she was in Ireland visiting some cousins there for a wedding or whatnot, and she had her new daughter Molly, and she was breastfeeding Molly, and one of her little cousins came into the room and goes, "What you doing?" And she said, "I'm feeding the baby." And she goes, "All right, is the baby eating your arm?" So we say that all the time. "Are you eating your arm?"
That's very cute.
So that's my jumping off point for my
Yeah.
Irish accent, and that's about as far as it goes.
Okay.
So
Can't
I'm
wait.
looking forward to offending everyone. So 90 Day the Other Way, Can Buy Me Love, question mark, episode 3. We will start off with Corona and the aforementioned not attractive Ingi.
He's not that bad.
He's not that bad, but when he started talking about inbreeding, I was like, now I see it.
Now you see it.
Yeah.
It's in the forehead. It's something in the forehead.
And the chin. Okay. Now we said it. Now we don't have to say it anymore. Okay.
But he's not that. He's honestly, like, I could find him cute. If his personality turns out to be cute, maybe I would be into him.
Okay. I can agree with that. Yeah.
So Corona is doing a handstand in her hero shot. I can't remember if we've discussed that.
No.
They're much more active, these hero shots.
She was on a carousel, I thought.
Yeah.
And now she's okay. All right.
She's doing a handstand in front of the carousel.
Okay.
So she's packing her wild shoes with her skulls and chains and things like that, and
heels,
like huge platforms. And Katie would love it. The two of them could just do a show and tell. So she drops off her cranky, hairless cats, Tricks and Tits, to that pregnant couple that she's friends with, and they drive.
Interjection.
Yeah,
more than one person wrote me to explain about the couple.
Okay.
And I was very, very grateful. And I wrote both the people back and said, thank you so much for explaining. Because we were wondering, now I can't remember their names now. Do you have their names?
Leo and Kristen or Sarah, something like that.
Okay. So Leo is a transgender man who is pregnant and has a full beard. So that they met in medical school. My question was, if you're taking hormones to transition to a man and you can get a beard, but then you're pregnant, so you're off your hormones. And we learned this from Love After Lockup, that I was wondering how come the beard stayed. And both these people wrote me, they were transgender, and said that it's because when you stop the hormones, the hair growth will stay what it is. You won't get any new growth. But that will stay. It won't just fall off.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like if you stop doing some lash serums and stuff, sometimes your little lashes and stuff will shrink right back up to what they were.
Oh, do they? You have to keep using it.
You got to keep. Well, I know that for Latisse, the prescription.
Yeah.
Not Hello Lash, which is a
that Mary Payne loves.
Look at my lashes. They're amazing. Anyway, so I was very, very grateful to the 2 or maybe 3 listeners that wrote to explain that to us. So now
I saw that also on Reddit. Someone else confirmed that on Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit, it's all verified information on Reddit.
It's where you and Keisha get everything you know. Yeah. The other day, whatever day was that the shooting at the presidential rally, I wrote Keisha because we were in the middle of a text chain about something. I said, "Oh my goodness, Donald Trump got shot." And she was like, "What? Where? That's not on TMZ." That's what she wrote back. I said, "Why don't you check CNN?"
That's hilarious. It wasn't on TMZ.
She said, "I only get my news from TMZ." I said, "You're gonna have to switch the channel, girl."
Yeah.
I mean, that was funny because she was like, "What? I didn't know it wasn't on TMZ. There are other news sources."
What's his name? Levin. It wasn't on it. Yeah.
Harvey Levin, but he's friends with Trump. I was like,
yeah,
he was.
Oh my God.
Maybe he's not now. Yeah, I wrote her back. I was like, check a reputable news source.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, do I have to?"
Anywhere. Just go to AOL. Just anywhere.
I'm so sorry for that 4-minute interruption because you really only got one line in, but I wanted to interject about Leo since we got the correct information.
Yes, appreciate that. So they drive to the airport and they talk about how white it is in Ireland, and she might be the first Black person his family has ever met. Like legitimately, she thinks that might be the case.
Right.
So she has this pressure of being a good representation for Black people. For any future Black people they may meet, they will have her in their minds. So she wants to be a good representation.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's so much pressure. So she flies off with a big stuffed penguin. Did we ever get an explanation for why she has that giant penguin with her?
Somebody probably gave it to her like, haha, you're going to Iceland. And she thought that'll remind me of the person that gave this to me. And also I could use a pillow on the airplane.
Yeah. It's big though. Bulky. So she thought she was going to be alone forever, but now she's in love and it's very scary. And she puts her sweatshirt over her face on the plane. which I was worried she couldn't breathe, but
And my
she
son does that on the airplane. He puts his sweatshirt over his face and then he pulls his knees also up into his sweatshirt. So he's like in a little
Oh,
ball and then
yeah.
he's
Mhm.
warm and then he sleeps that way. He's
Interesting.
6'2".
Hmm,
Seems
interesting.
like wouldn't be comfortable, but he
Yeah.
likes it. Yeah.
So finally, we're in Iceland. We're seeing snow, people ice skating, and we're meeting Inki, who is strutting around and funky white man dancing in his hero shot. That's the
Yeah.
best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
And he even does the film slate mark for
Yeah.
his first talking head
He was
interview.
excited about it.
He's so excited, and he is literally like strutting around like Saturday Night Fever in that town. He knows everyone. He's like, "Hey, whatever, check you later." He buys a hot dog. He knows a hot dog guy. He knows everybody.
What
Very
is it
small.
like? It's like the opening scene of something where somebody's walking like, "Hey, how are you?" It's
Hey,
like
it's
good. It's like Goodfellas or something.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very funny. And so
Mm.
he explains that Reykjavik is a party town.
Mm.
And dating is like Russian roulette because you might be related to the person that you're dating. And they have a website where they check to see if they are related to the person. But the real question, he says, do you check before or after you hook up with the person?
I would
Gross.
go with before
I would
because
go with before.
you don't, like he said, you don't want to see them at the next family
Family
meal.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think a newcomer, though, could do great there, like,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
everyone's fighting over your non-familial DNA. It's just, "Look at that girl with her non-familial DNA. Check
Yeah.
out the new gene pool we have." Like,
Yeah.
you could do well even if you're just mid attractive. Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
could do well there.
Yeah.
So, Corona, he's so excited about her. She ticks all the boxes for him. She's smart and sexy, and she expresses herself. And to show how she expresses herself, we see what I would think would be a private video that she sent to him, but
Mhm.
not, I guess, because it's on TV. And she's in her apartment and there's a red light on, like the red light filter, and
Yeah.
she's doing a sexy dance where she is in boots and she does a high kick and almost shows her vagina. And but she's the only thing that takes away from the sexiness is she's holding one of her hairless cats.
Maybe it was from TikTok or something, but I mean, listen, justice for hairless cats. Just remember Dina Manzo and Real Housewives of New Jersey had
Hmm.
Grandma Wrinkles, and Grandma Wrinkles is a better name for a hairless cat than Tits and Trixie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a lot to learn about being in a relationship. He's never been in a relationship.
Mhm.
And every week he plays some sort of D&D type game with his friends, which I loved. It's so cute. They've all known each other since kindergarten, and since they were 16, they've been playing this role-playing
Yeah,
D&D type game.
it was a role playing game, but I couldn't quite figure it
I
out.
don't think it was Dungeons and Dragons, but it was something similar. Or maybe it was. I don't know. But
Are
I
they?
love it. I love a nerd that's super into something. It's
Yeah, are
very
they?
cute.
It's like improv. Like, are you going to improv class? Yeah.
You do have
Yeah.
to be creative for that
Yeah.
game. You have
Yeah.
to think of new scenarios and things.
Not for
So
me.
he's been doing the bachelor life. He's one of the last friends of his to settle down. So they are all married to cousins, I would assume, or each other's cousins or something. But he's the last holdout of the group. And his friends are really excited to meet Corona. They're excited for some feminine energy in that group, which is I don't think she's going to play D&D with them, but
No.
I hope they get along. The friends seem very nice.
Yeah.
And they tease him, like, are you going to propose right away and have kids and all this stuff? And he says, no way. We're just moving in together. We just started dating. I'm looking at this as like fun time.
That wasn't great.
Huge red flags here.
Yeah, when he was like, "It's just gonna be like a great fun time." I was like, "You're 38 and she's moving there. What do you think? What?"
She's literally moving her life.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's no problem between America and Iceland where you can just move over there if you want to, but I
Right.
imagine at some point there's gotta be some kind of paperwork and a visa involved if you move to another country.
That's a great question. How
Yeah.
long can she stay without getting married?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it. I did find a YouTube video of these two gals being black in Iceland.
It's
And
like,
so
okay.
I thought, oh, they should be friends with Corona. And they did like a video series on YouTube about what it was like being a black person in Iceland.
I would like to say, Pink Shade does not think that Corona needs to be friends with the other two people in Iceland that are black just because they're black.
No, just because they're going through something very similar.
I know. It was the way you said that was like, they should be friends.
They should
It's like
all black people know each other.
they should all be friends.
And they
It's
should all
just,
be friends.
it's just, when I was talking to Matt this past weekend, he was saying he was going somewhere and it was like a family wedding or something. And they were like, listen, we have this gay guy that's coming. And we're not saying you may know him or you have to date him, but he's also gay.
Have you seen him around at the conventions? Those gay meetings you have?
Matt's like, probably don't know him since he's from a different state. But sure, I'm sure he's very nice and I'd like to meet him, but all gay guys are not going to want to date one another, but all right. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I hope that's not what I just did.
It was fun. No, it was, by the way, probably Corona looks like a TikTok girl as well. So
yeah, I feel like they can meet on social media.
They can meet on social
what
media.
Was your experience like? What was,
Yeah. Funny.
Are we done with them? That's all we have with them.
Okay. This podcast is sponsored by Greenlight. When you're a parent, you'll have your fair share of big talks with your kids, and one of those big talks should involve money, and Greenlight can help with that. Greenlight is a debit card and a money app made for families. You can send your kids instant money transfers, get real-time notifications of their spending, manage their chores, and automate allowance. You can set up recurring or one-time chores. In our house, the way we did it, we set them up weekly, so they would get paid on the next Sunday for what they had done that week. It was really great because you could see their progress, or if they were just totally slacking on a chore, then they could see that they didn't get their $5 that week or whatever it was. And your kids are building financial literacy and independence by learning to earn, save, and spend wisely. The Greenlight app also comes with an in-app financial literacy game called Level Up. You know, kids love a game on their phone that helps kids build money confidence through videos, bite-sized challenges, mini games, and more. Millions of parents and kids use Greenlight to learn how to make responsible financial choices. So stop putting off the money talk and start putting your kids on the right path. Sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free at greenlight.com/pinkshade. That's greenlight.com/pinkshade to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/pinkshade. Did they spell his name INGI or GHI? Did you see it? Like, did he have it?
I thought it was just GI.
Okay, I thought it was too.
H?
I felt like when she spelled it originally, she said GHI. But
no,
maybe I just misheard.
It was just GI. Yeah.
Ingi.
What
kind of name is that? Okay, back to you. It's Sarper and Shekinah.
Oh,
boy. Still you.
Oh my God. Okay. So, she has just arrived. She's still mad about the sticky sex bottles of alcohol. And also, he didn't make the bed. There's like crap on the bed. There's like dirty socks and underwear over a chair. There is like, it's disgusting. She flew there. I cannot. She moved there. You did nothing to prepare. Also, he claims he has like OCD or whatever. He's doing it wrong.
Okay. We also, hey, by the way, also got a note about that.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it's because we were talking about how disgusting Angela is, or what a hoarder Cindy is on Inmate to Roommate, or if we were talking about this. Somewhere on one of these shows, we were talking about somebody having OCD.
Yeah.
And somebody else being really messy, and how
I'm sure they don't necessarily coincide. That's just a stereotype.
I just wanted to say here.
Yeah.
That if wherever I said it, whichever one of those three things.
If it was me that offended, or Mary Payne, or one of the other co-hosts.
It was Keisha, somebody we offended somewhere. Not necessarily offended, but I got an email and I got a DM saying Just because somebody's OCD doesn't mean they're super clean.
Right.
OCD means you have to touch the light 3 times before
Right,
you
right,
walk out
right.
the door, or,
Yes,
that it's
yes,
completely different. Obsessive compulsive is not the
yes.
same as being
And I think I
neat.
have diagnosed him with that because he counts everything
Yes,
compulsively,
that's right, that's right.
but he does not follow the clean thing, and I think that is just a stereotype.
I
So,
think he's also just trying to, like, I don't know, I think he's trying to, like, have something that'll explain, that's why I do these
that's
things
why I
because
do the women. I count
yeah,
the
'cause
women
it's a
because
compulsion.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, he also didn't clear out this second bedroom that he has that she wanted to make into her closet, like
Mhm.
she's Paris Hilton, and she was supposed to get a clothing rack, and she can't hang up her clothes, and he says, "Are you acting like this because of the bottles?" It's like, "Yes,
No.
that's part of it, but also this place is a dump, and you knew I was moving here."
This is just like record scratch. It's the exact same story second time because it's the second time she's arrived and it's not ready.
I can't It's so rude.
Yeah.
So, he says, "The bottles remind me of the places I visited,
Mhm.
not the girls." And
Right.
he explains that when she asked him about the bottles, he said, "Well, I would travel and this is from this place." And she said, "Well, were you drinking alone?" And he said, "No, I wasn't drinking alone." So then it became the
Right.
bottles represented the girls.
Now,
Um,
but now, Kimberly,
yeah.
if this is like a special wine bottle from Italy and he wants to remember it from his vacation, this is a special kind of tequila that he got in Mexico. If it is a special kind of alcohol that comes from that country, it's a special bottle. Now we're talking about something totally different. But this is the second season of these. He's never said this before.
He never said this. He didn't say this on the tell all. Also, even if it is, was that trip to Italy more special than this woman that you want to
Right.
spend your life with?
Right.
She doesn't like it. And I'm not
Okay.
saying you have to give up your possessions or whatever if your partner wants you to, but if it bothers them that much,
Yeah. Put
make a
them in a box
gesture. Yeah.
and store it away somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, his hair is getting thin on top,
I saw
and you know he hates that.
I saw that.
And I don't care. I love bald men, but he's so vain
Yeah.
that I bet he hates it, and he is gonna regret all that leaning down that he did in this episode. He's like,
I saw
"Why
it
did I
too.
lean down?" Also, that stupid yellow construction worker hat that he used for the striptease he did for her is just sitting there on the table.
But see, right before that was the shot of the basketball hoop that was a Caillou children's basketball hoop. Caillou is a children's cartoon, and he's the most annoying, whiny, Canadian bald-headed child you've ever seen in your life. And I was telling Kimberly that I was trying because she didn't know who Caillou was. Because why would she? I typed in Caillou so I could show her a picture to see if it would jog her memory. And when you type in Caillou, it literally says, "Does Caillou have alopecia? Does Caillou have cancer? Why is Caillou bald?" It's awful. But he's a real whiny cartoon. Okay,
Yeah.
he's not a real
And I
person.
pointed out to Mary Payne that Doug was also light on the hair. And
So is Charlie Brown, for that
so was
matter.
Charlie Brown. Yeah, that's like a cartoon thing.
Just to have one curl in the front makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Do you think that basketball hoop is because of his little niece?
It does he allow his niece to come over to that semen-filled apartment?
I hope not. Oh god.
Ew.
Ew.
I don't
So
know, but it could be like my son has in his room, like an over the closet basketball
yes.
hoop that you throw the little basketball, like,
Or
guys do
set
that.
it up to put your laundry in. Don't they make those laundry ones where you
He
shoot
has
your
that
laundry?
too. He
You
has that
could
too.
do that, Sarper, and put your laundry away when your girlfriend is flying across the world.
Right, but the Caillou is I mean, it's from Toys R Us circa 1994. I mean, I just if anybody has an explanation, let me know. The niece coming over is a good explanation, but again, I don't think she needs to come to that
I definitely
apartment.
don't want her in that apartment. I would do
Mm-mm.
like a if I were the parents, like a Silkwood type shower on that little girl when she leaves that apartment.
That's terrible.
So the dog, seems pretty relaxed for having flown in the cargo thing for so many hours. That poor dog.
Somebody also wrote me about that and said their dog one time had to run the cargo thing and was fine. So
Okay.
so maybe it's fine, but it just Makes me worried.
It makes me sad.
Makes me sad.
But Adonis seems fine. And he says, for some reason, he brings up his book of conquests. He's like, I'll just bring out the book. She's like, why? Why would you be such a D to bring out the book? And he says, so you can make peace with it.
I mean, is she going to snuggle it? Is she going to pet it and say, I've made peace?
To make peace with letting it go. Like, do some sort of burning ceremony. You start a fire in the back and you let it go to the universe. You put it in one of those those lanterns that fly away.
Right. I think that the reason he doesn't want to let that book go is because he's like, what if we break up and then I don't have the book?
Right.
So I put everything in a box and then take it to your parents' house and say, don't look in here.
Don't just a storage unit. But yeah, he has parents' house. This is my box for memories, like a photo album. That's fine. Just put it away. It doesn't have to be in the house.
In the house where they're living. Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
So she then pulls out the binder, which she wasn't planning to pull out the binder that quick, but he's pissing her off. And she's like, this is a 143-page love letter that my boyfriend wrote me. She never says 16-year-old boyfriend.
That was in middle school.
Decades ago. She never says that part. I fell asleep. You fell asleep?
It was 10 pages front and back.
And she goes, make peace with this. And throws the binder down. I thought that was a pretty good line.
It was.
And he just walks away, but then immediately comes back and he opens up the binder. I don't know, to see if it's real or to see. We did see that it was handwritten, like full page, because people had made memes online and joked that it was like one word a page. But it was actually like handwritten with a lot of crossouts because, you know, when you're writing with pen, you can't erase anything. So all your misspellings. And he just takes the binder and he throws it down on the ground. Ooh. And he's like, you're ruining things. Okay, she didn't ruin anything. And I do not like this woman at all. But she did not ruin a single thing. You ruined everything.
I agree with all of that. I think all of it's fake, but I'm still furious about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Could someone be that self-absorbed and rude to leave dirty laundry out? Well, Gino left a poop in the toilet when Jasmine was moving to America. Welcome to America. Here's some crap in a toilet.
And flush it right down with your relationship because we think that's fake too.
Yeah. I think they both have new people and they're going to be on the single life. Isn't that what you said?
That's what we have heard. I think Amy told me this.
I heard it from you on one of your episodes.
Yeah. And I think I heard it from Amy.
Yeah.
And then I may have said I heard it from you. I don't know. I did hear that they go to Therapy Island and we're going to have to watch that.
Love Island. Yeah.
What's it called?
Temptation Island. Not Love Island. Last Resort.
I just call it Therapy Island. So they go to Therapy Island and we have to watch that. We have to endure that knowing that they're already on the single life. What do they film these things 4 years in advance? What color is Sophie's hair? We don't even know.
I watched Last Resort the way I watch a lot of shows, which is I watch the previously on and then I fast forward to the next time on. And then I delete the episode and then I go to the next one on my DVR. It takes like 10 minutes
to
get
so
through
smart.
10 episodes and I feel like I know the gist.
That's really smart.
I watch a lot of shows like that.
That's really smart. I do that sometimes for like Housewives. If I've missed a few episodes, I go, I should catch it on the reunion. And I watch the reunion. And then I fast forwarded through like the filler when they're like, tell us about your son's soccer game. And I'm like, zip, 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 zip. Let's go to Josh and Lily.
Oh my God, I get a break for a few minutes.
You get a break for a few minutes. Take a minute. Josh is packing to go. He's going to China. And he says he feels like, and this was very specific, I feel like an overweight 7-year-old boy seeing cake coming to the table.
That was a strange analogy.
Sounded personal.
Yeah. That sounded, he's lived through that.
Yeah, it sounds like something. Yeah. His parents are going to drive him. I mean, speaking of being a little boy. And he's been away from her for 8 months. So that's a long time. And he says it's going to be hard to go to another country and be away from the things he loves, his drones and his remote control cars and his television and websites and social media.
I loved that. That
Yeah.
I thought that was super shallow and like dumb. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, those things actually do make you feel it would be weird to give up
Yeah.
everything American.
It would be very weird. And of course, I was kind of like, why? Why can't he just get a VPN? But I guess probably in China, you're not allowed to.
I wondered about that too, if you could get a VPN, but I think it's that
Very
lockdown.
strict. Yeah.
I Googled it. They use something called WeChat, which anyone can, it's on Google Play and Apple, whatever. So
Okay.
anyone can use it, but that's their main social media. And it's like, I think it's a combination of kind of Twitter and Instagram. And so it's like a messaging type app.
Yeah, but great. So you can message somebody, but
All of his friends in America need to download that app so that he can chat with them.
Wow. And then like, what time is it there? Like, it's confusing.
I do, like, when I was in another country, I do find that like I want to in the hotel room put on TV and like have something comforting that I know, and it's not. And so that does feel weird.
It does. When we were in Europe, when we were in the hotel in London, even I was like, well, maybe there'll be a BBC murder show I can watch. Maybe that'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's a murder show, but I don't know the players in this murder show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to download a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and nothing in France. Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing to watch there. So yeah, I understood it. I mean, it was just funny. I'm going to be away from all the things I love. And
My
he just did
drones.
names. My drones.
Your parents. Say your parents.
Say your parents. They're right there.
They're right there. You're living in their house.
They're right there. In the talking head, his parents, who seem lovely, say
they do, and their house is very nice.
Yeah, it's all very fancy. They say he's a grown man, but we do worry about him moving to another country where everything will be so different. And he cries as he says goodbye to them at the airport. And mom says, you know, you always have a home. And he says, yeah. And they hug and they kiss. And
that's so sweet.
It was sweet. And he says, you know, it is a big leap, but if I didn't go to China, that would be a mistake that I would regret for my whole life that I didn't try it out. So I just have to follow my heart. It's my third marriage.
Yeah.
I really want it to work, and I'm going to try to learn from my previous mistakes.
He said that last time. What are these mistakes? Can you please tell us?
Was he
cheat?
Was he a cheater?
Did he have a gambling problem?
Is he an alcoholic? So many things it could be. It could also be
was he like nasty messaging like Rob and Sophie?
He could have that, and this will solve that problem because if they're not on WeChat, he can't message
He can't do it. Yeah, Rob just needs to move to China.
Yeah. So he had some travel woes. His flight was canceled and all that, but now he's on track. He's on his last flight to China. It's so funny because they keep showing him like in a first class seat, and then they show a Southwest airline airplane. Like, are we to believe he went from Bluffton, South Carolina to China on Southwest Airlines in first class?
Interesting.
These things don't exist. So
he seems to be, at least from what we're seeing, a very calm traveler.
Yeah.
And that is an indicator of a person's personality, is a stressful travel day. And of course he's not going to film himself yelling at some poor person at the checkout stand. But like, he seemed nice about it, but I'm not falling for it yet because he was filming himself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right. And he acts real weird in this cab ride. So,
yeah, he did.
So, after he lands, he's going to go to her house, which is a 3-hour drive. And he wanted to show her that she doesn't have to completely take care of him. He can do it himself. So he lands, and like a big boy, he gets a car all by himself.
I was impressed.
Which the production got for him because it's fully mic'd up and rigged with GoPro. So
I'm less impressed.
Okay.
Not impressed anymore.
So she's walking around the house and she says the house is not totally ready, but she's so excited he's coming. This house is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
She has put so much pressure on herself. And he didn't ask.
She's got to be really rich. She's got to be really rich.
Yeah, that company of hers. I wonder how much it's worth.
What is the company? We gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
It's very white. The house is very white, so I hope he's not messy.
Oh, yeah.
She says the house cost in American dollars about $562,000 to renovate.
Just to
What?
renovate, not
To
to
renovate.
buy, to
Yeah.
renovate.
And she hasn't told him about it that much because he always says he's broke. So she maxed out all her credit cards.
Why did she do that? He didn't ask for this.
No. He
He's
said he
living
was
with his
happy to live.
parents.
Yeah, he said he was happy to live in the apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, he's living with his parents because he sold his house to prepare for the move there. He had a place
that's true.
before.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, he did have a place. But I don't think he's portraying himself as not a fancy person who is not asking for this and not a gold digger.
Right.
Hopefully that's true. And then why did she put all this pressessure on
She just
herself?
wanted a bigger space for the two of them. Maybe the apartment she felt was too small.
No, I think it's more like a fairy tale thing. Like I'm getting married and I want to live in a beautiful house and be it's
She said she
some
was a
sort of
princess.
image. Yeah, she wants this
Yeah.
princess image.
You're
So
right.
that's a lot.
She did show us her closet that had 50 bins for hair bows, but only 3 hair bows in the bins,
Yeah.
which was
She's
odd.
building up.
And she's building up. And she's got a strange one just attached right to the side of her head in this episode. Let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this.
She has style. She has flair. That's how she became the nanny.
Is this a cute
That's
look?
hilarious. So you look adorable. Yeah.
Okay,
I like it.
Yeah, it hurts actually. So the things that I have around my desk that I can just pull out at any time for a prop is really
I love it.
pretty astounding.
I have a lot of like fidgety things. Like
Yeah, that's good too.
For my hands. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she says she hopes that he realizes she's doing all of this for him so they can truly get started on their new life together.
But he didn't ask for it. And that phrasing, I did this for him, then that puts all the onus of like her debt on him.
Right.
Even though he
can't
work for 5 years.
At least.
That's crazy.
After 5 years of not working, you're like, do I want to work?
Yeah, I've gotten used to this retirement life.
Pretty happy.
The only thing I thought about, because I did look it up and the 5 years seems to be correct.
Yeah.
And then to find a job after that, you have to find a job that can hire foreign people because they really do just want to give the work to Chinese people.
Yeah.
But could he work maybe under the table at her company?
Yeah.
But then I thought, I don't know, like the IRS here is pretty scary. I would imagine whatever China has is even scarier.
One would think so. Yeah.
And then also that makes him more beholden to her if he's working for her company.
Right.
And is financially dependent on her and living in her house and everything. That might be a tricky situation.
Yeah, I just don't know what he's going to do all day long. That's what I just understand.
Learn Chinese, Mandarin, whatever.
Okay. So that's about a year. So what's he going to do for the next 4?
No, it would take me 5 years to learn the very basics. I do not have it in me. But clubs, I don't know. Workout, I don't know what.
I don't know.
Start a podcast. He can start a YouTube channel because YouTube is an American company. So could he?
But are you allowed to have YouTube over there? Probably not.
No, but could he? Yeah, he couldn't even upload the videos.
That's what I'm saying.
Could send the videos to a friend in America. How would this work? No, email. You're still allowed email, right? And then he could send the videos on Google Drive. And then the friend in America could post them. And it would be like what it's like to be a white guy in China.
I guess I do see a lot of videos of, let me show you my apartment in China.
Yes.
I do see a lot of videos. So maybe they have TikTok. It's a Chinese company.
I know but they don't. I looked that up.
Okay. Josh, figure it out. Get back to us.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says when he landed there in China, he actually felt at peace. He felt very at home. He was very happy. He buys her flowers at the airport. He's got his little translator app that I've got right here. The TLC gave me.
He's winning on so many levels. We
already
have seen so many 90-day people not bring flowers to the person moving there. He's the one moving there, and he brings her flowers at the airport, and is a translator app.
And has a translator. Yeah.
Winning.
So he knows, I'm going to have to adjust to living here. I can't work. That'll be a huge struggle. And I don't want to be judged by her family and friends for something that I can't control.
Mhm.
So they're in the cab, and I was concerned. The cab driver looked real sleepy.
Yeah, he did.
I was concerned that he was going to drive off the road. Um, Cab driver looked tired. And so he asked the cab driver, "Are you married?" And he says, "Yes." He says, "I'm 65 and retired." So I wonder if he's retired and he's cabbing on the side.
Part-time.
Yeah.
And you're not really retired.
You're not really actually, you're working as we speak.
Yeah.
Um, and Josh says, "Is it common for men in China to not work while the woman provides the income?" And the cab driver says, "In China, you must work, or how will you provide?" For some reason, Josh is just whooping it up in the backseat by himself. He is holding that translator app going,
He's grinning like
it's
he
weird.
saw a puppy in a Halloween costume. Like, he is tickled before the guy even responds. It might be like a defense mechanism, like someone told him that smiling is a universal language, and so
Okay.
he's doing it like an insane person.
It's weird. It's
You
very
gotta wait
strange.
until you see the response to smile at. You're just smiling at the person and you don't even know what they're saying.
It was very odd. And also, that could be culturally offensive to be smiling
Should
so aggressively at
Too
someone.
big of a smile. Yeah,
Yeah. Because
with
we learned
crazy eyes.
with Devin and Nick.
Jaehoon?
Nope. Other Devin and Nick.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She was
Mhm.
from Arkansas.
Yep.
She found out in Korea that it's not customary to like look at somebody in the eye when you're talking to them. And
Right.
remember she had to learn those things. So
Mhm.
this aggressive smiling might have scared the shit out of this guy.
Yep. It scared me
It scared
in
us, and we were just
America.
watching it. So he thinks it's hilarious for some reason. And he says again with another giant smile, "What advice would you have for a foreign man living in China?" The guy says, "Find a job.
Yeah,
Don't rely on your wife," which was
you can't.
pretty savage, I thought. Pretty
It
funny.
is.
It's funny. I liked it. Let's go. We'll finish up with Statler and Dempsey. Statler states
Statler in the
Dempsey.
States is
Mhm.
driving on the freeway and she has very mild road rage. I thought that was hilarious that she considers that road rage because I live in Los Angeles and well, now I live in Orange County, but I lived in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
She is like, "Stay in the lane, buddy." That's her version of road rage. There was no cussing, no
Yeah.
screaming, no pounding on the steering wheel. No one pulled a gun on anybody. It was very mild.
Wasn't like Ashley. "I am ugly, crying."
I am literally having a panic attack right now. Literally,
While I'm
my
driving.
makeup is smearing.
You guys know I'm always telling you about Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I love it. There's one right down the street. We go constantly. They've got these new summer mocktails, and I really, really love those. I love the mango berry Cosmo. I add some coconut to that. Oh, it's so good. But I want to tell you about some other stuff they have. They have a turkey bacon ranch sandwich that is delicious. For a kid's meal, they have like a turkey cheddar wrap. You can get some baked lays and a little cookie. My favorite on the kids menu is the little limeberry. That's if you just want a little smoothie, you don't want the whole thing. You guys, they have the acai bowls. They also have delicious breakfast. They have a Southwest wrap. They have an all-American breakfast wrap. And for smoothies, they have those green smoothies. So if you're into that, they have that. My son's favorite smoothie is the kiwi quencher. You guys, I'm doing this off the top of my head because we order there so much. Like I said, the little limeberry I like, but I do love these new mocktails. The mocktails are only for a limited time. They have a mojito, and like I said, they have the berry Cosmo. That's my favorite. And again, don't sleep on the breakfast. Get it? Don't sleep on the breakfast. Really, the breakfast wraps are delish as well. So, you guys, go to Tropical Smoothie. Try out all these things. You don't just have to try the mocktails. You don't just have to try the bowls or the wraps. Try everything. Go 3-4 times a week. Find out what you like. See what your main order always is. We're again going with that berry Cosmo mocktail because it's a limited time. Again, the little limeberry, the kiwi quencher, the acai bowls, the breakfast. You guys, all of it. Tropical Smoothie. You're on Tropic Time now.
So she's driving to a place to sell her car, but she has developed a relationship with her car. Aspen is the
Mhm,
car's name.
mhm.
And she doesn't want Aspen to feel abandoned. Now, a lot of people anthropomorphize their cars and name them and such, but I fear that Statler actually thinks that Aspen is going to feel sadness.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if this was a put on because it's like, "I'm so
I'm so
wacky."
quirky.
Yeah, I couldn't tell, but she you know, listen, we
I
all
think it's half and half.
I think it's ha
I think
yeah.
it's she does this, but she's amping it up for the cameras.
Yeah, she did have a big, Dallas Cowboys star on the side of her car too.
Yeah, she
She's
has and something on the hood too that I couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, so maybe she's a Dallas Cowboys fan, or
Yeah.
maybe she's a fan of the cheerleaders. Just watched
Well,
that documentary. Yeah,
her oh yeah, I need to listen to your
it's
episodes.
good. It's good.
Um she in her hero shot is riding a large bull statue that I don't even know how she got on it. It's like 10 feet tall,
Yeah.
and someone gave her a boost, and then
Yeah.
she's fake lassoing.
Yeah.
She's really leaning into the Texas thing.
Yep. Mhm, and then also in her talking head, she's got a lot of, like, makeup and fluffy hair.
S Okay, I do not like this. The hair is very smooth and high, and
Yeah.
there's a side part. It
Yes.
looks like she's a politician's wife. Like, she's wearing
Yes.
curls, and it does not fit her personality. It's something about the
Agree.
makeup and the hair, and it is not her.
You're right. That's
Weird.
exactly what it looks like. It looks like a helmet head politician wife. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's bizarre. It doesn't go, and I feel like I don't like it.
Okay.
So, she and Dempsey thought that the camper van was gonna be apologies, I know that makes you think of that band,
Camper
Camper
Van
yeah.
Beethoven. Mhm.
Um, they thought it was gonna be cheap and they would save on rent, which is what everyone who does van life thinks,
Uh-huh.
but it's actually expensive.
Yeah.
So Statler has taken out a $20,000 loan to pay for her part of the van, and Statler will be the sole earner when they're on the road because she'll be working remotely and Dempsey can't.
Mhm.
So she meets with Mohammed, the car guy, and even though it's spelled differently, he is a huge step up from Danielle's Mohammed because he doesn't tell Statler that she smells weird down there and she should go
Ooh.
to a doctor.
Oh god.
Um, and he's better than Eve's Mohammed, who cheated on her and had creepy serial killer eyes.
Yes, and for talk like this,
Oh God.
you
Oh,
will get it
oh, I
done.
just got literally chills.
Sorry.
I hate that. Oh God. So she tells her car goodbye. She kind of breaks up with Aspen. She says, "It's not you, it's me."
Mhm.
And he offers her 18,000, which is a lot.
It's a
And
lot.
she was pleasantly surprised by that, but she's still nervous to sell the car. And so she explains to Mohammed about the camper van and she's moving to England. And she's like, I don't know if I should play it safe. To her, playing it safe is keeping the car as a backup plan that she could sell later and have the money,
Right.
or get the money now and pay off the loan that she just got.
Mhm.
I think paying off the loan now is way better, but for her, it's backwards. Playing it safe is keeping the car
Yeah.
in storage somewhere,
Right.
and
And for how long? Is it depreciating as it's sitting there?
1000%, even if she waits 2 years to sell it, it's gonna be worth less money.
Yeah.
So, get the money now, I say. But Mohammed is listening to her, and he's not putting pressure on her to sell. He's like, "Play it safe. Do what feels right for you."
Yeah.
It's great. Mohammed's great. He's a gem. So she says, "Okay, I'm gonna think about it," which means, "No, I'm not gonna sell it."
I
And
think don't you think she should split the difference, right? Like, sell it, take half the money, put it in savings for herself that
Mhm.
in case something goes
That's a
haywire,
great
she's
idea.
got $9,000, and then pay $9,000 towards the loan. So it's at least less if it all goes south, which we know it's going to. She'll have less to pay on the loan, and she'll have 9,000 in savings.
That's a
So
great idea.
yeah, thank
So
you.
are we also to believe that she had no money in savings before this? I mean, I know living is expensive, but she's always saying that that job makes her like good money.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what her living costs are,
I don't know either.
um, or if she's a big spender. So
She doesn't seem to be.
she doesn't seem to be, but
Uh-uh.
so she ponders the fact that she is opposites from Dempsey. Dempsey is so carefree in everything she does, and Statler is riddled with constant anxiety. I relate so hardcore to this. And you just wish you could be like Dempsey, but you will never be like Dempsey because, as we talked about, it's a brain thing.
But thinking about being like Dempsey, that gives me anxiety.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
thinking of being that just so fly by the seat of your pants and no plan, and
Mhm.
that makes me very, very, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's worried if I go and things don't work out with Dempsey, I'll be in England with a ton of debt, nothing to fall back on. Not really though, because you'll still have that job. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not trapped in England. You can come back to America at
Yeah.
any time. And 20,000 is not a ton of debt compared to Ashley.
Just that's a way to look at it. Yes.
Ashley 100,000. So
Yeah.
she apologizes to Aspen, the car, for the trauma of
Mhm.
almost being sold and hugs her hood. Apologies. But that's what she does. Sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. Pretend I never said anything.
Wow.
So then she's packing. This is the day before she's moved. She has ADHD. She says it makes it very hard for me to get tasks done. So I've waited until the last minute. And I have also the same problem with my packing. I just moved and unpacking. I literally go from one room to another. I'd say I'm working on the bathroom now.
Mhm.
5 seconds later, I'm in the kitchen and
Because
doing
sometimes you
something in
see
the kitchen.
something and you're like,
Yeah.
"Actually, this belongs in the kitchen," so you go into the kitchen, and then
Uh-huh.
you go, "Oh, while I'm here," and then you start
Yes.
doing that. Yes, yes, I get
Exactly.
it, I get it.
So she's bringing only 2 suitcases and getting rid of everything else that she owns. That's crazy. I might get a storage unit as a backup plan because this relationship has been so fraught with
Yeah,
conflict.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it might be safe to
Fill Aspen with all your stuff and go
and put
park
it
it
in
at your
storage.
friend's house or
Park
put
it at
it
your
in
friend's house.
storage. Yeah.
Exactly. So she's talking to her shirts like, I don't know if you're going to make the varsity team.
Not as attached to the shirts as she is to
No.
the car, right?
No, the car is really her baby. So she was uncomfortable in that very cute, very large trailer that they lived on. There's a
Yeah.
cat on my patio. It is so bizarre. And there's this
Okay.
cat that wanders around my apartment complex.
I
I
felt for
think
a
it
moment I was talking to Katie because she
I
loves to talk
think it
about the
belongs
cats on
to
her
us. She
patio.
always has. Like, should I feed it? What do you do?
I
Do
would
I
I
befriend
would
it?
I would say don't feed it
Don't
unless
feed
you
it.
want it to live on your patio.
I don't want it to live on my patio. Hi, it's looking in the window. So, she I would wish it was a dog. Sorry, I
I
wish you were a dog.
I
Hi.
know.
He's literally just staring at me. So, she was uncomfortable in that very cute large trailer.
Yeah.
And now she did not like it. So she has chosen to move into a van that is 5 times smaller.
I don't get this at all, Kimberly.
This
Even if
is
it's for the show, I don't get it. Why would you put yourself through that? I don't get it.
insane. So Dempsey texts her and says, "We can't afford the van." This is the day before. And Statler is like freaking out.
Yeah.
And Dempsey was in charge of getting the van and handling all of the stuff in England.
Yeah.
They had some sort of miscommunication. Dempsey thought that Statler was selling the car and that money would go towards the van.
Mhm.
I think in addition to the 20K loan, I think that's part of it.
Okay.
And so they video chat. I'm so stressed. This last minute, like, I can't.
Has Dempsey not put a dollar into the situation? What's she bringing to the table other
Right,
than her
right.
ability to drive on the wrong side of the road?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in the video chat, she says, "We agreed on 36,000 pounds, which
Oh.
is $47,000 US dollars. Um, which sounds about right for a used camper van.
And
It's on
then
the cheap
you have to
that's
like
on the
trick it
cheaper
out,
side,
right? Then you have to
actually.
Is that right? Don't you then have to do all the stuff to it?
Well, you have to get insurance. No, I think it's already built out
Okay.
but it's used. Like for
Yeah.
this is a cheap that's on the much cheaper side, so I think it's definitely used.
Yeah.
But then you gotta get insurance and all of that stuff. So They both had agreed to put in $30,000. So I guess Dempsey does have $30,000 that she's put in.
Okay.
But the car sale and the loan were going to pay for the rest. I don't really understand the math here because
Well,
that's
if she gave a
60,000.
if she did a $20,000 loan and then got 18, that would make 38. And if they're each supposed to put in 30, that's what she's supposed to be doing. But she didn't sell her car, so
Right. Okay, that makes
she's
sense.
short 10,000.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Statler says there were just so many numbers being thrown at me and I was confused. I was confused too, but I wasn't there for the original conversations.
Right.
So she admits, I bet Dempsey did tell me this, and I bet I messed up and got confused.
Yeah.
She blames the ADHD for everything.
She sure does.
Does she take medication or go to an ADHD coach or anything, or does she just live like this?
I bet she takes medication, but who knows? Because she's so wacky.
Yeah. So not that you can cure it completely, but I think she could manage it a little more. And it's making her so anxious. So Dempsey was talking in pounds and Statler was thinking dollars.
Uh-huh. Seems like somewhere along the lines you would have decided we're going to talk in pounds or we're going to talk in dollars. Right?
Yeah. So I actually felt I don't really trust Dempsey, but I think I would be annoyed too if I was her. Like,
I don't really trust Statler either if we have seen some of the terrible things that she's done online and whatnot, you know?
I'm scared to talk badly about her because she might come after me.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. I mean, I like her. I think she's funny and I enjoy watching her. She makes me a little anxious because I have anxiety too.
Right.
But I would be annoyed too if we were making a major purchase together and you had gotten confused about like conversion rates or hadn't been listening or just like forgot.
Yeah, you're right.
That would annoy me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then on Statler's side, she's like, "I'm coming there tomorrow, and you haven't purchased the van yet."
Right.
Right. So when I get there, where am I living?
That would be so stressful.
Yes. Yeah.
She needs to call Muhammad. He would help her, the car guy. I think he would just give her money. He seemed to like her.
No, I mean, I think he'd be happy to take Aspen off her hands, and maybe she could even be like, "Hey, would you give me 20?" Like she could maybe do that, and then put the money that she said she would into the camper van, and then again, still keep a little at home just in case it goes south.
Yeah,
yeah,
and maybe they need some sort of prenup about the camp pre-van.
Yeah.
Because from what we've seen from social media, Dempsey gets the van in their breakup, even though Statler paid for most of the van.
But what we're hearing is that they were each supposed to put in $30K. So maybe Dempsey did put in $30K. We just don't know. And it's a lot of pounds and dollars and 30 and 20 and 18. It's a lot of numbers being thrown around.
I would be confused too, but it would be important to be a grown-up and figure it out.
Yeah. Next week on 90 Day the Other Way, Shekinah angrily waxes Sarper to get back at him for having a sex book. So she's like, he always just turns on the charm. I was like, is that him turning on? The charm is, will you wax my back?
The charm is staring at her without blinking.
When he said Shekinah, come in here, I was like, this is where he's going to be like, let's talk about your new nose.
Exactly.
But instead he said, will you wax my back?
Yeah.
Josh arrives in China and they will start planning their wedding. And we see some clips of that and him saying, basically like he didn't know it was going to be such a big deal. But I mean, it's going to be a traditional Chinese wedding. Of course, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Looked pretty. Everything looked beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen a traditional Chinese wedding on this program. So this is a first.
Yeah. Have we had someone in China?
Never.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Statler is on her way to the airport and says to her friend that Dempsey can't afford this camper van on her own. And she wonders if Dempsey's using her for money. And she wonders if she'll come home broke and brokenhearted. Well, could you afford it on your own? We don't know. Unclear.
Yeah.
Unclear. It's very hard to know whose side to be on there with those two.
It could be one of those, I choose neither.
Right. Yeah. I choose the friend that was driving her in the car.
Yeah.
James heads to Indonesia and says, if everything goes bad and I have to
I
move
choose
back.
Mohammed.
James heads to Indonesia and says, if everything goes bad and he has to move back to the United States, that would be traumatizing. And then we see Tata saying to someone, could be an aunt, could be a mom, could be an older sister. I don't know. It's a lady that was older than her. She says, James and I want to move back here to Indonesia. Again, hasn't said for sure that he's coming.
She didn't tell those people that so they didn't tell anyone in America that they were
Mm-mm.
moving away. And then they didn't tell anyone in Indonesia that they were moving there.
Nope. They would get
Secrets,
along well with
secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
these two would get along well with Dempsey. It's very fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this
Also, get
mom,
this girl to a doctor. If
I
she
thought that
landed
was
in
the whole point.
Indonesia, she needs a doctor.
Does she?
She she has a lump on her neck.
I didn't see it. And it seems like her mom or her aunt or whoever says, what? Don't just stay there. Don't live here. Ew.
God, I still don't get it.
Yeah, it was like, what? You were like selling jewelry on Etsy and he was climbing trees and had that
Yeah.
elevator business. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know
Good
the
job.
healthcare system here is very flawed, but
Yeah.
I have to believe they have more medical equipment, let's say.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have great doctors in Indonesia
I'm
who
sure they do.
I'm sure they do. I just don't know if they have the resources.
Well, they don't have jobs, so how are they going to pay for it?
Yeah.
They can't sell those banana chips unless they go to the other town.
Yeah, you don't pay family, Mary
You
Payne,
don't pay
to do banana
family.
chips. Everyone knows
No.
that.
Also, banana chips really sound good, actually.
Yeah, I do. I don't mind a banana chip. Yeah.
Do you know, and I don't like bananas at all,
But you like banana chips.
but I don't mind a banana chip. Anything thin and crispy that feels like it was probably fried is right up my alley.
Yeah.
Um,
Although being surrounded by like thousands of banana chips every day kind of turns my stomach. Anything that like you're around that much, even like donuts, I would be disgusted.
I don't like donuts anyway.
I like
I
a
mean,
donut.
it's just like a hot
One.
dog. It's just like a hot dog. I like to have a
Yeah,
hot
you
dog
gotta
like
want
once a
those hot
year.
dogs all the time. Yeah.
Ew. Oh my God, Kimberly, speaking of that, you know how on 4th of July, for some reason, they always have that hot dog eating contest?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that one guy always wins. This year I saw, in addition to the hot dog eating contest, they had a lemonade chugging contest. And it was like, how many of these things of lemonade could you in a certain amount of time? I thought I was going to hurl.
That's how people die.
I was like, that
That's
is
gross.
disgusting.
Your blood sugar level just shoots.
And just like taking in all that, I was like, you have to immediately go and like yak.
Throw it up. Yeah. A woman died from one of those water drinking contests.
I remember it was like you had to drink water and not go to the bathroom and to win a car, right?
What are you putting your bodies through this? It's
And
horrible.
you know what? You don't need the car that bad. If you're gonna
I
drink
think
water
she
and not
did. I
pee.
think she was desperate, but now her children have no mom. So
And no car.
and no oh.
I'm sorry. That was low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry. It was a low-hanging banana. I'm sorry. This is my second podcast of the day. I'm a little punchy. A little punchy. You guys, I did the podcast. You can go find it over on Pink Shade Prime, and it's also on YouTube if you're a subscriber there for that level. MILF Manor, we did our episode. We wore veils, even though nobody got married. We just thought the end of MILF Manor was so weird. It was like they didn't explain it, and all of a sudden somebody's coming up on a boat and they're standing in front of what looked like a satanic altar, committing to what? Marriage, to fly to see each other. It was disappointing because the season was good. And then we got to the end and we're like, what is happening?
Wow.
It was weird. It was weird. This week also on the podcast, so we had Monday, Keisha and I did Inmate to Roommate. We laughed so hard during that episode.
I've been listening to you guys talk about it. It's so funny.
We were laughing so hard. Really, before we got on to record, I go, not much happened in this episode. She goes, I know. Annalisa and Veda weren't on there. Yeah, well, I guess we'll make it funny. Somehow we were cracking each other up so hard. I can't even tell you. I was like bawling, crying on that episode with Keisha. And then did that MILF Manor. where I laughed the whole time, and then this episode where I laughed the whole time, and I need a break. I need to decompress with all the
No,
laughing.
you're getting those stomach muscles.
Sure, that's what's happening. Okay, so we had Inmate to Roommate. I've got 90 Day the Other Way. Wednesday, there'll be a very special episode, which will be on the free feed right here. Will be Welcome to Plathville season premiere. I'm
Yes.
putting that on the free feed with Amy. It will be moving over to Pink Shade Prime, but just for the premiere, I wanted everybody to be able to
Mhm.
listen.
I'm
Then
not
it'll
gonna watch. I've decided I'm only gonna listen to you.
okay. Are you against
Everyone
watching?
makes me so sad on that show.
Oh,
Just makes me sad.
I just think it is an amazing show.
It's fascinating,
It's
but it makes
fascinating.
me I get a little pit in my stomach.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. All right.
And
Well,
a lot of hatred bubbling.
oh, okay.
I won't say for who.
Please don't. And
Yeah.
then stop. And then stop. Stop. Then Thursday, I'm going to have Amy Phillips on to talk about Bravo. It'll be OC, New Jersey, and Below Deck Mid. Below.
My favorite. I didn't know you talked about Below Deck.
Well, we only talked about it one time because there was a MILF Manor person that was on Below Deck.
Oh, yeah.
So we did a crossover, but now I can't quit watching it.
It's my favorite. I've seen every season multiple times.
Aisha.
I mean, I love Aisha. I hate Captain Sandy, like, with a fervor.
Really?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
gotten better in these past few seasons, but the seasons with Hannah are just so brutal. She's just horrible.
I really can't get over this girl, Ellie, and
Yeah.
how bitchy she's being to that other girl.
I know. She
Bree.
was fine last season. She was only on a couple episodes.
Yeah.
She was like a fill-in, and she seemed fine. I didn't get a crazy, like,
She's drunk with
red
power.
flag, and she
Yeah.
now is totally drunk with power. Yeah.
And she thinks she's a supermodel. And then what was so crazy too was maybe you or 3 other people in the world will get this reference, but when Marcia Dahl was on with Trishelle from The Real World, I was like, they were all like, well, they say she's a TV star. We don't know. I was like, what?
What
Marcia
show
Dahl?
was it? Because
Welcome to Plathville.
she was with Micah?
Yes.
Oh, that's how I recognized her.
She's Marcia Dahl models in
Yeah,
Miami.
she's like big time, or maybe they just pretend she's big time
right.
for the show.
Mhm. Yes.
That's how I recognized her. Thank you.
Yes.
I was gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't like Ellie. I'm concerned about Bree being, naked in the hot tub. But listen, you do you, girl.
Yeah.
And I
The
love
thing
that.
about Bree that concerns me is she says she's never finished a charter. And
Right. That is
never finished a
concerning.
charter season. That's super concerning that there's always been a problem.
Right. Yeah. It's the whole thing is great. So I am going to talk to Amy about that because she covers it. And so generally when I talk to people about Bravo, I'm like, are you watching Below Deck Med? Just like, and they're like, no. Like, okay.
I know it's the
Yeah.
cast off, and it's the only Bravo show I watched.
Wow. Okay.
And
well,
I've been watching for years every single spinoff, the OG, everything.
You and my dad
And
who
my
love the Below
favorite,
Deck.
literally like my favorite show. I'm on Reddit. Yeah. I got my dad into it. Yeah.
My dad loves any Below Deck, and he did ask me recently. I told him, I was like, oh, I'm watching Below Deck Med because I had to cover it. Now I'm watching it. And he goes, that Captain Sandy, he said, thinks she's going to marry her girlfriend.
And I said, unhappy about that?
No, I think, he's an elder man from the South, and sometimes these things are confusing.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, yeah, Dad. And, upbeat. I said, yeah, Dad, I think she is. I believe in real time they're married. And he goes, mm-hmm. And I said, the girlfriend, now wife, is a gospel singer from the South. And that really knocked him off his moors.
You got to bring in something for like a good
for him to understand. Yeah.
I understand. Okay. Good for you.
That made him.
You kept that in your back pocket and you're like, I'm going to pull out the gospel card.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And that made him maybe better about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
He's also a recovering alcoholic, Sandy. And
I thought you said my dad. I was like,
no, I don't know.
I was like, he's not recovering. What are you talking about? Just kidding. Yeah, Sandy is a recovering alcoholic. That is correct.
You know what? It's hard for me because I'm such a diehard feminist and like I wanted to root for her so hard because it's such a male dominated field.
Totally.
And she's worked so hard to do it. And she's like, does these leadership conferences and stuff.
Yeah.
But the way she behaves, I hate her leadership style so much. And over the years, it's gotten better as she's seen the reactions she's gotten on TV, I think. So she's toned it down. But if any of the Hannah seasons are just really, she wore down Hannah like emotionally, and it was hard to watch. And she picks favorites, and she's really irrational sometimes, and she's micromanager. She hovers. She like looks for problems where there aren't. It's a whole thing.
God, you really got opinions on Captain Sandy.
Because I'm on Reddit, and so I've had to explain to people. Oh, I'll explain it to you. I had bring out my thesis on why I don't like her. But she's been much better this season, I will say.
Okay. Because I
admire
dip
certain
in and
things about her.
Yeah.
I do think she's handled some situations well. But overall, no. And I'm not alone. I would say 90% of people do not like Sandy and wish she had been gone a long time ago.
Okay. Well, okay. Listen,
I'm going to get letters. I know it.
Listen, opinions that Kimberly has said on this podcast do not reflect the opinions of Pink Shade LLC, especially about Statler.
Sorry, Statler. I find you funny.
I do too. I find her funny as well. I do. I would like her to use her powers for good and not evil.
Yeah, I do not like some of the social media stuff that's going on.
No.
Makes me.
And it's also not from 20 years ago either. It's pretty recent.
No, it's current.
Yeah, it's current. So sometimes you can forgive something if they are kind of bad and it was a long time ago.
Totally.
But no, this is pretty current.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's very dark outside my house, and I'm wondering, is a storm a brewing?
Oh.
Just like you saw that cat, like I can't quit getting distracted about how dark it's gotten outside. Tell Katie about the cat, because, whenever I would talk to Katie, she'd always like, there's a cat on my porch, and she would take pictures. And
I know. And you're like, can we get on with the podcast?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's me.
I would care if it was like a little cute chipmunk. I would care. That would be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Make sure you follow Kimberly and Katie over on Dateline on
and
the
Mary
Instagram.
Payne in our last episode.
You guys, I was on a date with Dateline last week. I was so excited.
It was so much fun. I hope people listen to it. I hope they weren't just like, oh, I don't like when they do ID shows, or
I got so much positive feedback. I got so many people saying that I'm sorry that you girls had to watch that show.
Yeah.
To talk about it.
I want to do way more ID shows. It's so much more fun for me and less stressful than doing a Dateline.
Yeah.
And so I had so much fun doing it.
I'm game anytime. And what I really loved about it was that I didn't have to, I did make some notes just because some things were so crazy. I had to just take notes so I wouldn't forget. But I got to just sit back and let you be funny, and I could just chime in. It was wonderful.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun. So if Katie goes away to a foreign country again, which sounds like it didn't go well and she might not ever leave the country again.
Yeah.
If she ever decides to go anywhere, please put me in. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Great. But I am going to come on your claim to fame thing. I've got it written down. I'm going to go right now. Check it out.
Amazing.
All right, everybody.
I'm sure I'm going to get texts from you.
Oh, just
about the show. I hope you like it. I know you're
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Get ready because I'm going down right now. Everybody follow Kimberly and Katie at Dateline and listen to their podcast. And please follow me at Pink Shade Pod on Instagram. Put up a very funny reel today of Keisha and I just laughing so hysterically about this inmate's roommate. It was very funny. Okay, let me find my little button and then we'll be done. Okay, bye, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me on.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.